So with the new codes, we also have some guidelines, which are now part of CPT. These codes are used for real-time interactive encounters between a provider and a patient. They're based on medical decision-making or total time on the date of the encounter, so just like those office or outpatient visits. They're not used for routine telecommunications related to a previous encounter. And the example that the AMA kept stressing was to communicate lab results. So if it's just to communicate lab results, that's just going to be considered part of that previous encounter. They can be used for follow-up. However, the follow-up has to be required. If it's a follow-up from a previous encounter and they need a whole nother visit, then they can be used. There's no specific time interval requirement from the last visit or telemedicine visit, except for with the virtual check-in code 98016. And I'll review that in a little bit. And they must be performed on a separate calendar date from another E&M service. So if you happen to have a scenario where maybe a telemedicine visit is done in the morning and the provider decides to have that patient come in for an in-person face-to-face visit that same day, you can add the two services together, but you're only going to report one code. And lastly, and this is a big one, they may be initiated by a provider or by the patient and or the family or caregiver of that patient.